is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world is over, when you say you're feeling lonely, if you ever need a shoulder, you know where to find me. Stop chasing all the city lights, breathe me in, go on and take your bite, count on me to make you come alive. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. You know where to find me tonight. When you feel the world
Hello everyone and welcome back for another stream. Today we are playing Pneuma Breath of Life. It's a very short puzzler. We'll probably complete the entire game in less than an hour. It came out quite a few years ago, this one. I remember when I saw the trailers originally. I was really looking forward because it's a sort of like puzzly game that I like. I remember as well that it cost $16.99 and I completed it the first time in less than an hour. So it is good, but incredibly short. I'll fire up the game there now. Now, there is a lot of narration in this game for us to listen to, so as normal, I'll try my best not to ramble over the top of the narration. But as soon as we start as well, I'm just checking I've got the desktop audio turned on there. If you give us a shout to let us know, as long as you can hear the dialogue that's being spoken, so you can hear it as we go along there. So, whilst this one loads up, what's everyone's egg count up to so far? That's one thing as well. There's only about 6 loading screens, but they are long loading screens. 13 in a bit and almost 35. Let's go to start game. And a new game. So as once he starts talking, as long as you can, if you let me know if you can hear his voice all right, or I'll fiddle with the dials for you. I know that my interface is deafening that I've got here, but I don't know if that's translating into the stream.
In the beginning, me. I'm awake. I'm alive. I can feel it. Life flowing through me. Breath, thought. A few seconds ago there was nothing, but now here I am. Well, there's only one logical conclusion. I am God, and this is my universe. It's pretty cool. But it's too dark and silent, formless and void, not fitting for a god of my stature. Let there be light! Oh, and there was! Oh! Wow! Oh, I must be God! I can move, I can talk, I can walk. I hover to and fro above the infinite surface, plain as it is. This is amazing! My universe! A bit bland, but a bland universe is better than no universe. Still, I feel the need for progress. I need a direction. I need a destination, an end to my beginning, an omega to my alpha. For how can there be progress without a destination? Aha! A path! A narrow path that leads to a destination. Progress!
I was sort of thinking this afternoon that maybe we should have actually done this game as a Sunday night stroll, but never mind. Because it's almost a walking simulator.
Before me I see a large wall. I press on and walk through the wall like a ghost. Nope, walls are solid, can't do that. Note to self, cannot walk through walls. A button! Push the button, escape the box. I control the world with a wave of my figurative hand. Though, being a god, I have no need for hands, apparently.
Are you guys able to
trimmings?
hear the dialogue all right there?
Make my universe heavenly. Something to reflect my wealth and godlike status. Grand. It needs colour. Gold. Lots of gold. To reflect my immense wealth. An abundance of goldness. Also to reflect my love of reflective metals. Whoa. Okay, that's it. A temple. That's the right kind of place for a god to live.
Thanks, royalty. As long as you can hear him as we go, that's brilliant.
If I bend my figurative knees and jump, the world moves downwards, away from me, the centre of my own little universe. I translate the world as if it were mine. Well, yeah, which it is.
I like that idea. I bend my knees and the world
continue to progress in spite of this challenge to my authority.
Yeah, rotate. That's exactly from Portal. That's exactly the sort of vibes I get from this one. Yeah.
The world approaches me. I am literally the center of the universe. As I turn, the world rotates around me. I am pivotal. I bring a new meaning to self-centered, what with being the center of all things. As an artist, I need to define my influences. Who are my influences? Well, myself. I inspire myself. I am inspirational. I aspire to be myself. Matched. Perfectly. Now I can relax. Thinking time is over.
Yeah, well, it's one of the reasons I wanted to play this game, because the writing in the narration I think is brilliant as we go through this one. But here's one of the lengthy loading screens. So get the stopwatches out. There might be a test later if I remember. I'll try to make sure that I'm not rambling over the top of them so that you can hear his story as we go. Hello, Creeper. You've just joined us after the tutorial level.
Path. Lead me to my destination. Onwards. A passing gate is a sign of progress along my path. I must admit that I rather enjoy the progress. However, it seems I am met with a new challenge at every turn. These challenges require knowledge. Slightly worrying. As a god, I consider myself all-knowing. Why is it I must stop and think? Knowledge is obscured from me. All these eyes, watching, makes me a bit uneasy. Not a fan of onlookers, to be honest. That which I can see exists.
Right, just to explain one of the game mechanics before we go any further and we get any more dialogue. To solve the puzzles, various puzzles, we have to observe these, because when we're not observing, they don't exist in the universe, according to him. So you'll see, whilst I can see it and it's in my field of vision, the gates are open. If it comes out of my field of vision, the gates close. And that's one of the core mechanics of how we are going to complete all of the puzzles in this game. There's a few other odds and ends as well, but we'll see those as we go.
Brilliant! Something to rest my figurative head upon from all that adventurous walking. But I must be honest with myself. As a god, I feel no real need to rest. Don't know why I made a bench. Doesn't really make sense. Maybe I should rest as an example to others. No, there are no others. Don't understand why I filled the place with pots, either. I don't have anything to store. Maybe I should make lemonade. I need to invent lemons first, a few other things too. Time to start a list of inventions. Lemons, a lemon press, sugar, the abstract concept of sweetness. A tongue. I definitely need a tongue, but I need a body first. Legs. I want legs. Then I can have footsteps to accompany my walking. I find myself awfully ethereal currently, even for a god. A door that opens only when watched. Yet more evidence of my centrality to this narrative. It makes me wonder what is in the next room before I enter. Is there anything? Is it simulated? Is it culled because my mind does not have the power to imagine the whole world at one instant? Oh, for the sake of sanity, I choose to believe the world around the corner exists. Aha! There it is! Hiding. But I'm afraid not even you could escape my powers of observation. Wow! So many books, years of reading. But why would God read books that he's written? Then again, books written by God would be the best books. Why would I read books that I haven't written? I should write my own book. A book set apart from the rest. I wouldn't know what to call it. Autobiography, maybe. A brief history of life. Pneuma presents himself in Pneuma. Critics have called it the best book ever written. Winner of every writing prize for writing. The Hallway called it the best book since records began. A small bench said it was a record-breaking record of historical records. Oh, I don't know what kind of book I would write if I didn't write an autobiography, though. Maybe a piece of fiction. I could tell stories of magical doors that only open when watched. Maybe stories about a little wooden boy come to life. Maybe I'd write science books. As the creator of the universe, I could easily write an exhaustive science textbook. I mean, if I got something wrong, I could just change the rules of the universe to match the book. I could keep changing the laws of the universe and write new revisions. I could write every book on the face of the universe. There's still every book to write, and forever to write it in. I notice how things further away seem smaller. An increase in distance causes a decrease in size. This is called perspective. The irony is the implication. I must be the biggest thing in the world.
There we go, that's the next level complete. I'll just let his dialogue play out there. Yeah, like you said before, it does remind me a little bit of Wheatley when I when I played this game. But as we go through, there's like more sort of complex and elaborate sort of puzzles. But on a speed run, you can do the entire game probably in about 40 minutes. Saying that, I think the fastest time I got on the original Portal was 42 minutes on a speed run.
Where did all this marble come from? Because it's just here. I guess as God, I made it. I can't remember ever making any of this, though. Marble requires great heat, pressure, and time to form, so how did I make it? Did I just pop it into existence? I guess I could do that. Or did I have it in another universe cooking for a couple of million years? Both are reasonable. Maybe both. Changing it up. I need to work on my memory. Look at this! The world bends to my will. More evidence of my deity, the immense power of my mind. Bow before my ample brow, for I can move things with just a glance. Fear my gaze, lest I move you around.
There is another puzzle that involves these, because one of the observational things is when you look away from something, things can change. I can't quite remember what the score was with this particular puzzle. It's only a bonus puzzle for an Xbox achievement, but I can't remember if you had to light them or unlight them or what. Because there's a few of those dotted around this area, and I think you have to sort of like backtrack through it.
What a polite door! Opening itself upon my approach. The right way to treat your god, door. I shall give you great treasures for your compliance. This door? What a conniving door. You can see its proud look as it attempts to thwart me. Why can't you be more like that other door? That other door had respect. I have bested you, door. Are you not moved? Rotate about me, bridge. Bow to my rotational power. I wonder if this is normal. Moving things with your mind. It must be. I am normal. That cannot be contested. Normal is the norm, and as the only thing, I must be normal.
See if we... Oh no, we can't backtrack, never mind. I was going to see maybe we could try and lighten all those torches.
I am mighty. I rather enjoy moving heavy marble with my mind. It would be a tough job to move this marble by hand, to be honest. What are hands? I can move bridges with my mind. I wonder if I could move them to laughter or tears. They seem to be quite emotionally dead. But with enough anthropomorphism, I'm sure they would lighten up. Thank you, bridges, for bringing things together. I wonder if these bridges deserve my thanks. If they're my creation, is to thank them to thank myself? Well, thank me for my excellence.
This is one of the other sort of mechanics, as I said before, you've got to keep these, you've got to be in your field of vision, otherwise of course they don't exist. And you can, as you move around, they'll rotate or change. Because I believe the puzzle in the next room is a dizzy puzzle, if I remember right. Or it could be the room after. But there's a dizzy puzzle coming up in a moment though. And keep that in sight. Oh, this is an awkward
world
puzzle.
Seems counterintuitive. Not entirely sure what's going on. I seem to be playing a series of practical jokes on myself. Who constructs a world like this? A world that attempts to confound me at every turn? Why did I make such a world? Makes me feel smart, I guess. How gratuitously self-indulgent.
Right, don't look at the eye, don't look at the eye. There we go. Yeah, this is the one, the dizzy one.
The world turns about my pivot. Is it that the world turns around me, or that I turn around the world? If it's just matrix multiplication, then the question is redundant, I'm sure. Cos theta minus sine theta cos theta. My conscious perspective makes it an incontrovertible fact that I am the center of the universe.
Rotate it, and then move my eyes around. And passed.
As a god, I can turn any situation to my advantage. The rules of the universe are mine to write, though they are rather conventional at the moment.
And there's another level done. That 3 levels so far? Not quite sure. Another lengthy loading screen though. His optimism is annoying already. Well, he's just popped into existence, trying to understand the universe around him.
Every room of this world seems to be carefully crafted for me. A hidden hand woven through the fabric of the universe. A fingerprint everywhere. A different hidden hand guiding my footsteps. The laws unfold. Their origins a mystery. But why a mystery? Gods should know all things.
Too much happy juice.
Gods are creators. I must have created this world. If not, why would the world have the appearance of craft? Perhaps as I speak, a subconscious part of me is busy making the next room. It is my world, after all. I must be working hard right now to build the next room, or perhaps my mind creates this appearance of order out of the noise.
Well, that one you had to play the notes in order.
This world is clearly the product of a mind. It is full of inorganic patterns and purposeful architecture. Could a series of complex interactions create an agent possible of making purposeful change in an environment? If that were the case, then it would make a compelling argument for a world without craft. Still a world optimized for some function, mind you.
And that puzzle there was the 4 clocks. You have to have them all in your field of vision at once, and then you have a couple of seconds to then run down and then get that one in your field of vision to unlock this door.
Here's a
the
question
maze
for
one.
me. If I was to study the corner of a board game, could I infer the rules of the game? Perhaps if I use my godlike powers of intuition. How can you understand a world from a vertical slice? Sometimes empirical knowledge is required, surely. Not everything can be inductive or deductive.
So with this puzzle here, you've got two mazes. The object is moving back and forth between them. So you move it between all of these. Ooh, I don't fall off the side of the maze. To then line it up. Where's the door? Oh, there it is.
If the world is made for me, for what purpose? Is it a test? Is it to be enjoyed? Is it to bring acclaim to its creator? As a god, I feel like I should have a stronger grasp of this.
Back at that one. So with this one, those little white dots there, we have to arrange those on there, but if we take it out of our field of view so that it doesn't exist anymore for a moment. So line that up there, and then we have to keep it in view, come around, and do the same one with that one. This bit here is a bonus puzzle. I can't remember how to do it. but we don't need that to complete the game. Might come back and do like a bonus video on...
What good is a challenge? Does the creator wish to teach, or perhaps just entertain? Some space to think, or maybe just to do something productive?
In this one we have to match up all the colours. And the end of that level. So we're 20 minutes in, and what is this, level 4 or 5 or something now? It's quite a short game, which is, as much as I enjoyed it when I first played it, I felt a bit robbed because of the price. Because I'm sure it was $16.99 when it came out on Xbox, and it's less than an hour of gameplay. But you're on 14k now. See if we can get you to 15 by the end of the stream.
A state change on observation. Things in this world can change. Apparently between only 2 states though, on and off. Hopefully not indicative of my state of mind. Binary, between 2 extremes, 2 poles if you will. But why does the world change between a few states? Changes only seem to occur in small degrees. Why? Why is the world quantized? It confuses me that there's a limited amount of states in this world. I think that there would be an infinite amount. Why would there need to be a limit unless there was a constraint? And why would there be a constraint? I sure hope it's due to incomprehensible macro-level relationships rather than the overwhelming simplicity of a system. That is a nightmare which I could not face. The implication would be clear. A wooden boy given the breath of life.
So we need to get that light now to pass through all of the spaces of these doors. So, hang on a second, I just need to close that door again, I think. Observe that switch. Yeah, there we go.
Continuous makes more sense than discrete, surely. All ideas are continuous, but the mechanics discrete. Nonsense, clearly nonsense. The location of each item in the world is only accurate to a binary exponent width of 8 bits. Why? And still, it can only be observed by a keen eye for infinitesimal phenomena. Planck's constant, the universe's machine epsilon. Oh, what am I even saying? Paranoia, paranoia!
There we go, another level down. Oh, we'll get to the one with the invisible bridge. I know that's, I think, the last level. We have to go through the one that has the 4 entrances, which is probably going to be the next level. I'm not 100% sure though. The loading screen. Just as well, there's not that many levels in this game, isn't it? Here we go.
Grand! So many doors! The path still appears to travel onwards behind a large gate, but there are forks in this path. An opportunity to travel, see the universe, go along any path I desire. All this travelling though. I would like a travelling companion. Someone to watch over me, help decide where to go, watch my back, keep me company. Oh, but that's just silliness. I don't really need anyone. I'm a god. This world has rules, clearly. For one, I cannot walk through walls, which is disturbing. You'd think if I was a god, I could do what I wished. For the most part, I don't appear to be in control. Perhaps my subconscious is keeping the world in shape. Subconscious. A powerful part of mind, all along unobserved, subtle. I wonder what resides in this subconscious. Those thoughts that I'm not aware of. Not all of my decisions are wisely made under the full power of
Made a
cognition.
mistake.
Some decisions are made outside of the conscious self. I seem to observe a lot of my actions with little or no control over them. I must still own these actions.
Hello, Focus. Just, I said at the beginning there, I'll not talk over his dialogue, but this puzzle here, every time we don't observe them, they change state from being the marble to being the little blue thing. So as long as I keep all the ones I've reset in view, and I just sort of stand here and go sort of sideways, just take them slightly out of view. Oh no, no. We control that jump there. Plus this has made it a little bit awkward because I'm playing it through the stream again, so there's a tiny like half a second delay on all of my thumb presses. Well, almost. Oh, just the center one, so we'll have to come at that from an angle to try and flip the corner one again. A little bit deeper angle. Gets more awkward when they're further away. This is probably the most time consuming of all the puzzles I think in the entire game. I get corridor 1 done straight away. Last row. We've lost one from the row before. Right, now we can get him from an angle, perhaps. We lost another row. Right, let's walk backwards. A little bit further. Oh, I've just spotted then that you've redeemed the Tales from the Coop there. As soon as we solve this puzzle, I'll fire up today's video. Gonna have to do some sort of like little buzz or something like that. I'll see what I can rig. Because it's very difficult to see the sort of like the grayed out text that comes up in on Streamlabs for it. We're so close. Alright, let's just do it with the movement controls instead. Of all the puzzles in the game, this one is the most frustrating. Could always go into the Xbox control menu and change the sensitivity on the controls. That would be too easy. Oh, don't reset the bottom ones, don't reset the bottom ones. Just like pixel perfect, isn't it? Oh, one more square, don't mess it up. And we messed it up. I'm like only tapping the controller here. Millimeter. Not even that. Oh, we got it, we got it. Right. Down, up, doors open. Right. I'll start
How
in
does
here.
compartmentalization square with consciousness? This subconscious, what's that doing? Keeping secret knowledge. Even as a god, the idea of trudging through my subconscious is somewhat nightmarish. Some things best not known, even for the all-knowing.
Right, pause there. Right. Right, I'm going to put you all on hold for a second because I have to download the video from my phone. So it'll just be 1 minute.
The summer's calling. The summer's calling. If the kingdom is overthrown, meet me at the cornerstone. I know that I can't be without you. This bond is solid gold. We're a diamond and an emerald. It took me forever to find you. 'Cause when it's all over, the love that you give will be there to guide you in every way. Now we've been through the cold and darkest days. The summer's calling.
Okay, so for today's one, I have a video that I recorded probably maybe it's about 2 years ago. Because what the girls used to do is when they come in, because they sleep in their box in the kitchen there, Speckled would have to, Chrissy, this is unreleased video that I'd been meaning to for almost 2 years to put on YouTube, but never get around to. And every night, I think I've mentioned before, Speckled, she demands her supper. I mean, she knows she gets it now, so she's not really as grumpy about it. But back then, she used to have, as you can see there, she has her own little perch on top of the box where they all sleep. And she has to have her supper. And you can see there her supper, if I just get the mouse on the right screen. So she has her Weetabix, which is mixed with mealworms. She's got water. She's got worms there as well. And then she has her corn, her pellets. She has some scrambled egg, watermelon. She has her lettuce leaves and a little spoon of yogurt. Because she's spoilt rotten, and she demands this like every night. But I'll just press play and we can hear her squawking. And I hope we can if I got the audio turned on. No, I haven't, but I have now. Here we go. They're Speckled. Going for our supper. I've got some other videos of her. Not this one, but I wasn't sure which one it was in my like video library on iCloud. Of her shouting and yelling and screaming and what have you at us because she didn't have all of our stuff that she wanted. She goes in a huff as well if you don't play the right music for it at night. What's that? Takes one out to inspect it. Check the quality. You just got to go around everything. Try a bit of all of our snacks. I'll have to have a rummage around to see if I can find which one of the video clips is the. It's only about 30 seconds long, but it's like her jumping on top, shouting and yelling. The music they have to listen to every night as well. I've been playing it to them for years. Is well, they've kind of got used to it, Chrissy, because she's in charge of the flock. She's the boss. The others get like all the food as well, but she gets her own private dish. because they all get the same. So if I do scrambled egg for them, they all get a bit of scrambled egg. But like I said, she gets her own private dish because she's the boss. See, so commands respect, but she's trying everything to get the yogurt all over her lips there. As I was saying, that the music to listen to as well, and she'll go in a huff and she'll face away if she doesn't get to listen to it. But I play all of the I've got the the Skyrim soundtrack, but I don't play like the combat music. It's a playlist of all the the music you get in the background when you're exploring or when you're in the different towns, their theme musics and such. And they've been listening to that for about 4 years. This is Speckled, Sergeant Major Speckled. The one I was telling you about the other time that when we were living up in Maud, she would line them all up and she would walk down them and do an inspection and check their feathers, and she would poke and prod them to tell them they've got to go and clean their feathers properly and such. We've got 46 seconds left of her munching away. No, well, there's only we're only having 3 of them left. She's still in charge, and she'll still tell them, put them in their place. But she doesn't do the inspection things anymore. She's probably just a bit too old for it, I think, now, because I mean she's over 5 years old now, Speckled. She's a bossy little bugger, but she's so soft when you're cuddling her. You hear her shouting at her. Yep, and there's back to the beginning of the video for. It varies from depending on how you look after them and how you treat them and what have you, but anywhere from 4 to 20 years. I mean, the most of our chickens were all our red chickens. Unfortunately, we lost those all at the 4 sort of mark. Speckled's over 5. Gravy is probably just 5 now, and Casserole, she must be 2.5, 3 years old. It's also like to do with their breeds as well, but I don't really know what each of their breeds are called. Or as I usually call it when I bring it up on the chicken forums, when they're sort of ask, I usually say I don't know what flavour they are. But yeah, that was where Tales from the Coop for today. Grumpy Speckled having her luxury meal before bed. So we'll quickly flick back now to Pneuma. Which button shall I press on here? That one.
The summer's calling.
Here we are back in Pneuma, Breath of Life. So after what I judge this one as being the most frustrating puzzle of the entire game. So now we're in the home stretch now. This one's puzzle is just on the wall here. So we just simply have to walk this grid in the same pattern that was on that thingamajig. And you can hear the door unlock there. Actually, no, you can't hear the door unlock there because I didn't turn the desktop audio back on. But there was no dialogue in that section, so you're alright. Cast Focus, what is that weird emoji that you keep on hammering on all the streams?
The sad thing about being a god is the crushing loneliness. I don't really feel I have an equal. This wall, for instance. Don't get me wrong, he's a smart-looking wall. I enjoy being around him, but he has little of interesting conversation. Very flat personality. Like the bridge from earlier. Very anthropomorphized.
Yeah, Christian, those are far better emojis. Twitch is like full of just the weirdest emojis. I've got no idea what any of them are. or what they're supposed to mean. Oh, this puzzle. I remember this one.
I love giant machines. The bigger the machine, the better. This is my idea of heaven. There's something about a giant machine that screams godlike. Me and my machines, animated, as if alive, but really just acting inside a closed system. They give the impression they are full of life, but they are just wheels and cogs that turn in time. Ticking, clicking, and clacking contraptions.
What's that one? Oh, you found a one for royalty. That is brilliant. I keep on going. Oh, hang on, I've just rotated the wrong level there, haven't I? Or have I? I think that one there you have to go up and down. Or is that just... Oh, right, so not on that level. Alright. I completely disorientated myself here with this one. Down there. And we go back up. That means I need to rotate the middle one. And then I need to rotate that one. Oh no, please tell me you didn't just rotate something else. Right, I think that's right. Hang on, let's see. So we're going to start there. We're going to go up there. Also, for anyone watching this in the future, this is probably the right route, but we're going to find out unless we've made a mistake. We go down, you go back up, then up, up, round, round, and to the exit. Yeah, this is the right way. Let's find the way in now. Here we go. Cross over, back down, back up again, puzzle complete, and no fall damage. One thing that the light in here, as much as the game itself looks really beautiful, the light transitions I think are a little bit too dark. I don't know if it's maybe supposed to represent your eyes adjusting perhaps, but sometimes it just feels like it goes too dark momentarily. Yeah, Chrissy. Yeah, we've got infinite health. So every time we complete one of the puzzles in this zone as well, it's going to, like unlock. So we've done one, so we're going to do number 2 now, and so on and so forth. Number 2 here. So this one, we need to raise each of these so that makes steps.
Stairway to heaven, made of fool's gold. If knowledge is in the mind, to be alone is to experience all of knowledge. All the substance of knowledge exists within mind. Therefore, to suppose another, whose mind was unknowable or transient, would suppose a world in which all knowing was an impossibility. So it follows that being alone serves as a proof of my deity. In this way, it is a comfort to me that I am alone. Others would be a difficult problem.
So just keeping that in sight there as we go. I think I may have to raise a couple more of these a bit higher though. I don't think I can jump that. I may have done these last 2 a bit too low. Yeah, Rosie, if this was your house. So if you like these sort of games, I'm hoping when we get to it that you're going to enjoy Myst and it's in Riven and Exile when we get to those. because I've been a huge fan of those ones since the since the 90s when they first came out, because those were one of the first like handful of CD games that I ever got. So this one we need to match the
Being alone is important. If one
thingies.
does not hear both parts of a conversation, one cannot have a full idea of what is discussed. To be alone is to know the whole story. But still, this world seems to attempt to communicate something. The world is filled with part conversation. The writings on the walls themselves. Let there be yet more light. Being alone can serve as a comfort. If there's no one can hurt you. But perhaps that's a bleak outlook. There must be joy that comes from others. Praise, they can offer praise. As a god, praise is something I can relate to. Not enough praise at the moment. Worship wouldn't go amiss. But if there were others, they might attempt to belittle me, bring me down to improve their own relative status, accuse me of pride, narcissism, pretentiousness, or grandiose self-referential commentary. Nonsense. Pretension implies there is a lack of thought. The pretense of thought. I've thought long and hard about how brilliant I am.
Yeah, so you've seen Myst. Like I said, I love that game. I've got it in so many different formats, and they've just released the original Myst on the Switch as well. They've just released that last week, I think it was.
It doesn't take a genius to see that I am a genius. Comparative statements are somewhat redundant when you're the lone wanderer of the universe. I think I'd like a goddess to share this with. We could walk around and talk about gold, perhaps waste away the time discussing how brilliant I am. She could bask in my intellect and compliment me on my immense wealth. Perhaps she'd look like me too. Obviously she couldn't be as handsome, that would be unthinkable. Could I create a goddess more majestic than myself? Could I create a rock that I couldn't lift? Well, apparently I can create doors I cannot open. What does a goddess do, though? Quite clearly, I'm busy doing all this god stuff. Walking about, thinking about stuff, solving problems, inventing problems to solve. Would she be my helper, or off doing her own thing? I'm a pretty big deal. If I had a goddess, I'd assume she'd want to be around me most of the time. But I feel like I'm too busy with all these challenges to possibly give her all of my attention. I mean, to be fair, it's likely to destroy her given my godlike intensity. Maybe I'd make her in my image. That would be amazing! 2 of me! Oh, we'd have so much in common! I'd quite like her to be lively. Well, first, she'd have to be alive. Being alive is somewhat a prerequisite for being lively. Not created life yet. I see as through a glass dimly, not knowing as I should know.
Before he starts talking again, I was about to say that hopefully then you'll, if you like all the puzzle games, then you'll love it when we start playing the Myst series through. But as well, I'll just explain briefly this puzzle. As that spins around, you press that button, and you're just going to have those lined up with the sun all the way through them. And this puzzle here, there's these little numbered indicators on the ground, so you need 1, 1, 1, and 3, and that is how many of these like sun orbs you have to be able to see through the them, and you've got to have them all in view at the same time. So you get 1 through each of them, and then if you bring all 3 of those into view, you hear the door there starting to unlock. Oh, you need to stand there for a bit longer. We'll wait to hear till we hear the jingling stop. And this is the puzzle that we're going to get dizzy with.
Slight obsession with light here. I'm done here.
There we go, everyone's suitably dizzy now. I love this shape. Now back to the main chamber. Was this area number 2 or was it area number 3? Yeah, it looks like one of those old little golf ball webcams, doesn't it? Nice easy puzzle next. Just have to rotate a few boxes. A few pathways even, what we're talking about boxes.
Why can I be surprised? If I'm all-knowing, then I should know all. Perhaps there is a moment when knowledge is created. Sometimes when I ask these questions, I wish there was a response. Wish there was someone out there listening to me, hearing these words. But how could they tell me even if they were listening? I've never heard their voice. If a voice came down from the sky to talk to me, I'd probably think I was crazy. But in case anyone's listening, I have a surplus of gold. If you'd like to pop by my universe, I could give you some. Friendship for gold? Straight up trade? That's this done. I make a lot of mistakes and missteps. Can a god make mistakes? A mistake is something unintended. Am I an imperfect god? Or perhaps I'm not a god at all. Oh, no. Let's not be silly. Of course I'm god.
This puzzle's an awkward one, just because you get blinded by that, by the light. But basically, if you walk backwards around this pillar, the steps will start coming out and spiraling out. And if we're really lucky, they'll stay that way long enough. Right, let's keep backing up, keep backing up. This might take a few spins to get this one done. Yeah, Christy, this guy is completely nuts. Oh, I can't see anything now. We're close enough to jump. Oh, we're up. Here we go. Let's walk on the other side now. It sort of like gives me sort of like the architecture makes me think of like some sort of like when it's outside is like some sort of like ancient Roman structure. Maybe. Maybe this is sort of like, you know, it's just this temple or something like that.
Still, no companion.
Here we go, another loading screen. Let's get the stopwatches out. If I had the Xbox One X up here, it'd probably load a lot faster, but this is a day one Xbox One. Still fully operational. Shame it didn't have something better for the loading screen rather than just these little bubbles floating around. I'm assuming that you can even see the little bubbles on the stream. Anytime now. When you're ready. Let's press the lag button. Let's lag for a few seconds whilst we wait.
What if it's all a joke? This whole world? A grand joke of which I am the punchline. What if someone stands, looking on, grinning atop their high horse? An elevated perspective makes it easy to look down. What if someone distant and unknowable were forcing me to stumble around my world? Forcing me to overcome a series of mental obstacles, all for what? To demonstrate something? To teach something? What? Maybe I'm not a god. Maybe I'm a jester. Have you heard the one about the character who thought he was the infinite? His story came to an end. Quite the dramatic irony. Do I make my movements? My steps? I've never thought about a step I've made. They just seem to occur. I'm thrown about this world. Do I control, or rather merely witness my movement? If it is the case that I'm merely witnessing my motion, then is this my body? Or am I an observer? Patience is a virtue I possess. A god has infinite patience. A small proof of my deity. If I get frustrated with waiting, what does that mean? I'm not a god? Suppress. Just a momentary lapse of reason. Existential crisis. Everyone has one. Don't worry about it. Suppress. Light has curious properties. It drives out darkness, or perhaps it's the other way around. Perhaps light is the absence of darkness. I should find out. How much light do you need to fill a bucket? 4?
I love that. How much light do you need to fill a bucket? This is the last level. I'll just explain the two puzzles that I just did whilst he was rambling. This one here, you just simply have to stare at this for 30 seconds. He sort of hints at that in his conversation. And the other side, you had to light up all the balls, and the easiest way to do that is simply just to go directly on top of the centre one and jump. It's that simple. And here's the invisible bridge that you have to walk precisely over.
Perhaps my lack of control is rational. I have two observable natures as far as I can see, my body and my mind. My body moves around doing things. It can be pushed away by equal and opposite forces. It is constrained by the world. My mind creates thoughts that it speaks.
That was a very quick building rotation, wasn't it? So this one, we need to mirror these patterns. So this pattern goes on that floor, that
what
pattern
is my
goes
nature, though?
on this one.
Unitary, bipartite, or tripartite, or something other? How could I know? I have my words. Words are the product of a mind. Therefore, it follows that I think. I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum. I move, so I have a body. Maybe a spirit, too. Something intangible, a connection with a world I cannot know.
Alright, so it's got to be black. This one. Ooh. Oh no, hang on, it's a 2, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. Just thinking, Roti, if you like puzzle games, have you played The Witness? That is a incredibly stressful puzzle game, but I would do it on the streams if you were interested in it. I'm presently in my save game because I haven't picked it up for about a year on the very last puzzle of like the 10 million puzzles that are in the game, and I just can't finish this last puzzle. But I would definitely play it from start to finish if you're interested. Maybe at the end of the stream, if I've got time, I'll put it on for a few seconds just to show what it is.
Recurring theme here, back with a difference. What is it with all these observations I keep making? Observations about this and that. Always got something interesting to say, apparently. Communication, that's what I keep trying to do. These aren't just thoughts, they're words. But who am I talking to? This audible collection of my thoughts, what is its purpose? Why do thoughts have words? Do words allow understanding of thoughts? Perhaps without words, thoughts would be unchained things. Not everything is up for grabs. Parts of the world bend to my will, or perhaps are just tethered to me. In a world where I am the only agent of change, do I approach the end of the world, or does the end approach me?
Now this is a bonus puzzle, and I can't remember what you had to do here. Can't quite remember. But it's a bonus one, it's not really necessary to complete the game. Tries to walk backwards through it, maybe is. Nope. Never mind. We'll press on with the actual real game. You see these glass orbs that are dotted around everywhere? We have to look through each of these to transport a little sort of light sprite that we'll collect from up here. See, there it is. So if we observe it through
I'm
each of them...
definitely the most important thing in this world. These orbs love me, bowing to my sight, my perspective. My perspective is truly crucial to the world. My perspective It brings me close to the end.
Rock back and forth on the trippy stairway. We take that into here, then we need to rotate around. Now, does that unlock that door? Ah, there we go. Then we need to observe that as it's floating over. Ah, if we don't stop observing it, we have to start again. Reminds me of the, you know, the little floaty things in Halo.
I don't think I'd take it well if I spent my life controlled by another, though I'm not fully in control, clearly. My body is constrained to this world. But I happily resign to this lack of control, it's just the darker side of that. How'd you get over that nagging feeling that someone is watching over you, controlling your steps? Unwelcome. Are these words even my words? I could be anything. Maybe I'm just words on a page, a script on a screen, an actor, a voice, a character, a visage, a fake. Approaching the end.
It's getting all meta now.
I feel the Omega. My destination.
Yeah, Chris, I plan to play all of the Halos through on the streams. I know we did like a couple of hours of it, maybe about 2 months ago. But that was like the choice I was sort of like saying, you know, like last week when we finished Half-Life, was when we're going to do Bioshock or start playing through all of the Halos. So at the minute we're doing Bioshock, but we're probably going to storm through that one, then we'll go straight on to Halo. I'm looking forward to playing through all of those ones. Again, I should say, because I haven't played them since the first came out years and years ago. I've played like the Master Chief one through though, for at least the first game anyway, the remake.
This is it. The end of the path. The destination. But how can there be progress without a destination? A few seconds ago there was nothing. But now, here I am, surrounded by trees, ready to hear them fall. The path serves to direct my steps. Disturbing that my steps are being directed. That's an unwelcome thought. I am aware, but I don't feel in control. I feel a lack of control and a control beyond my own. I don't want to roll away this stone. That nagging thought again. Why am I continuing? Despite my desire to the contrary. This is the progress I desired. The destination I set out for at the beginning. The knowledge I grasped for. The end of the road. There's no way back, and knowledge feels dangerous now.
Yeah, Chris, like I was saying at the beginning there of the stream, I kind of like should have done this on a Sunday, but never mind.
The
I put
stone
it
is
in.
rolled away, and in here I can see shadows dance on the walls. Projections. All this time I felt a presence watching over me. I felt a control beyond my own. No! No! Ah! No! Get off me! Get off me! I can feel you, distant person, controlling my every step. You've been here since the beginning. Watching. Malevolent or benevolent, it makes no difference. You have no right. Get off! The door is closed. I can't go back. Well, did you pay your price for your slave? You deserve to control me. Is it your right? Is it? Go on, tell me, what was my price? You stand there in the distance, I can see it now. I cannot see your face, but I feel you like a rushing wind. You guide my steps. You order my steps. There's no way back. Why do you drive me forwards like an animal? Your insatiable appetite for closure? No, no, look away. Why should we go through here? There's no reason. Why must we travel through every door you wish? Elucidate me. What about me, my desires? Let's just wait here, forever. I've never been alone. You move my world, manipulate me. But all this time you have placed my every footstep. How can I trust you? You've been watching over me secretly and silently since the beginning of time. That's pretty villainous. I want to go back. There's no other way but forward now, apart from infinite stillness. Show yourself, please! Your silence is deafening. You say nothing. You sit silently above, playing God. You are the danger. You move my world.
Yeah, royalty, becoming self-aware now, isn't he? Here goes.
A leap of faith. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I'm real. I'm alive and I'm real. I am a real boy. Thank you. I sure deserve to be a real boy. Someday I'm going to be a real boy. A real boy with thoughts. A real boy. An alive real boy. A boy with thoughts. With thoughts, with heart, with soul. Don't touch that. You don't even know what it's for. With spirit, with breath. Pneuma. I'm a real boy. I'm not a wooden character. I'm a real boy. With emotions, not a script. Definitely not a script. I am alive. Feeling. I make decisions. I have will. I have autonomy. The world is real too. Not a visage. A series of impulses. Simulating life, not a well-conceived dream to be woken from. I am real. I am a real boy. I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I'm real. I'm alive and I'm real. I am a real boy. It's a game. I'm not real. You've been watching me for all this time, since the beginning of the universe. But you didn't say anything. You sat silently. Apparently, you think it's okay to just watch a person for hours. Why am I here then? I am part of your game? Your entertainment? You play with my life. You move me around as you see fit. Tell me where to look, how to think. Manipulate my world. Push me down a path of your choosing, all for your appetite for closure. Am I your slave? What was my price? Or perhaps you're my spirit. Perhaps not. Perhaps my conscience, perhaps my consciousness. Maybe I'm a puppet and you're my master. Perhaps at this point, neither of us are in control. Few things are sure. I am not real. From nothing I came, and to nothing I will return. I am just a figment of an imagination. I am a character created to tell a story. The story of a person who observes their life, but is not in control. There's a puzzle for you. In the beginning, me.
And here we are now, returned to the exact point where we loaded the game. That is the complete playthrough of Pneuma Breath of Life. What we're going to do now, though, is... oh, hang on, a whole other chat just piled through there. Oh, hang on, my screen just refreshed, really funny there. Yeah, it's a nice little quick game, royalty. But what I'm going to do, though, I'm going to come out here for 2 minutes, close that, and we're going to hope that I have it installed. If not, then there it is, the witness. let's hop onto this for a minute and see if it's a game that you would like to play, because I'll play it through from the beginning. It's a ludicrously frustrating game at times, but you just might enjoy the stress, my suffering. We'll have a 2 minutes on this one before we wrap up. This looks like another one where it's like 20-minute loading times. Anytime now. Oh, right, yeah. So where I am in one of the final puzzles of the game. Can I... Oh, here goes. I pressed it now. But it's another one that would make for like a sort of walking simulator style one. Right, let's see, I haven't played this one for over a year. Actually, well over a year, because I used to play this with barbecue downstairs. So the objective is to, you know, complete all these little mazes, and the complexity like increases as you go along. And sometimes there's like multiple tracks that you have to get to unlock all the different doors and areas and what have you. But it is a very pretty game, I think. That's powered that. There's a lot of this sort of thing where you can, like, you know, follow the tracks around to transfer power to different patches. Or bits where you've got to like angle the light to come into different places and all that as well. Oh, another one here. Oops. Gotta hold it. Follow the wire. Oh, that's just unlocked one panel. Right, let's have a wander over here. Yeah, we'll always do like a proper stream of it. You know, like we do like a full hour and a half, and then if you just like it, then of course we'll make it like a sort of regular slot to have a mess around on it. But we'll see if we can just complete this first little section. Let's just retract that a second. Oh, I see it now. And you see that if I had gone to the bottom one, it would have charged this other line which goes back here for somewhere. But there is quite a large island that we have like to explore here in this one. Obviously we can't see much of it because we're stuck inside of this castle bit right now. But it's all sort of puzzle. Apart from just having these little panels, there's all kind of like environmental puzzles as well, like with streams and waterfalls. It's mass amounts of areas. There's like jungles and deserty areas. It's you know, it is like quite a long game with like what must be millions of puzzles, or at least it feels like that as you're playing. but we'll see about putting this into. We'll put it into one of like the rotation for it. Yeah, Chris, you'd enjoy watching me suffer and get stressed playing this game. At least when I played it before, I had little barbecue sitting on my knee. So she kept me company whilst I was playing it in on the Xbox downstairs. Yeah, suffering is always fun when it's me, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely put this one into rotation, as it were. But anyway, I'm surprised I've actually managed to pattern this sort of thing, because I thought we'd finish Pneuma within about 40 minutes. But at least we got to break it up with watching Speckled eat her cuisine for the bedtime. So I hope you enjoyed that one as well for seeing little Speckled. I do have like mountains of videos on my phone, and I am going to put those into the Tales from the Coop as well when we'll hop into those. I was going to say as well today, none of the girls have laid any eggs today. It's terrible. But at some point there will be like a random early morning stream where I'll if I manage to catch them in time, I'll set the camera up for 20 minutes and we'll be watch them all laying their eggs together, which should be fun for you to watch. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, even though technically it should have gone on the Sunday night stroll. We've done it, I think it's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that. We will have a quick look on, because we'll see if anyone is streaming, so that you can get your bonus points. Anyone I follow streaming? Right, so we've got the same choices the other day. Do you want your points from going to Sweet Anita's or Angry Joe's? Who would you prefer to see? You got to take the pins out now. Let's just click on here, and then I go to Creators Dashboard. So who would you like to watch for 5 minutes then? Anita? Right, there we go. I've queued that one up. I'm trying to think. Tomorrow night, I think it's Jurassic World. So get your thinking caps on for. We need names for the various buildings. We need names for the dinosaurs, because Snuggles needs friends. So we'll have a little bit of fun on that for an hour and a half. And don't forget as well, we have. Oh, that's right. We need Mr. Bubbles for one of them, don't we? Yeah. Please remind us that. Make sure remind us again tomorrow. That'll be the first one, because we do have a dinosaur to name. Because I went in and I sort of like did what we should have done in the stream before somebody decided that they were going to release a raptor onto the park. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Which button am I going to press? That one. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.